Hello people of YouTube and welcome back. So we're going to be doing something a little bit more different than people are probably expecting. I'm going to be doing a bit of a no, I'm not doing a pickups. I'm doing the opposite of that. I'm doing a collection video. Now there is reasons behind it. For my own personal sanity, I've decided not to do pickup videos for a bit. So instead I'm just going to be showing everything that I've got. I really enjoy doing these collection videos. They might be a little bit boring to probably some people, but I just like it as a way to document what I actually own, because I don't do any of them database things or anything, not since Retro Collect left the scene. However, I was terrible at filling in Retro Collect anyway, so for me it's a lot easier for me to be doing this. So I'm hoping you enjoy watching these, because I'll probably be knocking quite a lot of these out. So anyway, enough of my self-therapy. Let's see what crap I've amassed over however many years. So yeah, I actually picked up a DS. I actually picked it up when the 3DS came out initially. So I actually missed out completely on the DS the first time, although that is a bit of a lie. I did have a DS when it first came. Well, I think when the DSi got released, I remember getting it when that got released. But I only had a handful of games, and then I sold it soon after because I needed money to go out drinking. So that got sold off. So yeah, I then got back into the DS by getting a 3DS. When that came out, I got a 3DS, and I absolutely flipping loved it. What a system. It is so good, but I enjoy the DS a lot more. There's so many good games on the DS that I don't think the 3DS ever was able to catch up with. So anyway, so what have I got? So we're going to go off in my beginning of my collection, and we're going to be showing you the Dsi games. I should have got these out ready. I'm pulling them literally from the shelves. So yes, my only full set collection that I've got is for the DSi. So what people probably don't know is the DSi actually had 4 games released that you can't play on any other system except for this. And look, this is what's good. I need to put these stickers off, which is good. This is a PAL UK one that somehow managed to get to Australia and back again. Interesting. I like that kind of stuff. But yes, so these only fit in a DSi cartridge, and they are actually white cartridges instead of, I think they're grey, aren't they? The normal DS ones. So you got face training, hidden photo, hair salon, system floor. Pretty much only got these so I could become a full set wanker. So yes, as well, you can tell the difference because I've got squares in there instead of saying DS. So yes, interesting but shy little collection there. Next up, we've got my bigger box kind of things. It just makes it neater on my shelf. So we've got Luminesce Arc 2. Still missing the first one, I think. I can't remember. Maybe we'll find out along together. So yeah, this is like a big box version of it. Comes with a little CD and everything. Really cool. Again, DS is great for RPGs, and this is obviously one of them. One I actually haven't played yet, but I really would like to. Next up is my American games, and again, next one's a big box one, and this one's quite a big heavy hitter as well. So we've got the Dark Spire. I think this was pretty much the first DS game to ever like go over 100 quid or something. It was quite, yeah, this I daren't see how much this costs now, just because I know the DS is really getting quite expensive. So this is a sort of like a C64, like BBC Micro style RPG, dungeon crawling RPG, where it's very basic, more text boxes than anything, as you can see on the back. Very dark, very hard. I tried playing it, and I was really looking forward to it as well, because I really like the idea of it all, but it was just so brutal, and I don't think there's a hardness difficulty on it, but I really wouldn't mind going back to playing that. So next up, like I say, we've got some American games. I've missed out on so many good American games. So I don't know if this is an exclusive. Brain Age 2, More Training Minutes in a Day, Yawn. Yeah, so they're not all big hitters. I don't know if that just came, I got that because it was a part of a bundle. I don't know actually. This, however, I do remember getting because this is one of the first games I got for the DS, because I found out about it. Front Mission is a Super Famicom game, and I can remember it being in Super Play magazine, which kind of told you about a lot of the import games, and I was like blown away by it. I was like, I can't wait for this to come out, and it never did. So it's like a strategy turn-based RPG with giant robots, epic battles. Yeah, this is the first time this came out in like a Western territory, so it was the first time it got like translated basically. So yeah, I had to get this game. Now I have played it, and I got further than I did in Dark Spire, but I think I got about halfway and I had to give up. It was so hard. I don't know why. Yeah, really good turn-based strategy. This one I haven't played, and it's Glory of Heracles. Another RPG, one that's only in America. Well, I say when I say only in America, I mean it's not come to PAL territories, at least anyway. So yeah, it looks like a really interesting RPG, and it's one I can't wait to eventually get around to playing. And now this one, Lufia Curse of the Sinistrals. I believe this is a sort of the Super Nintendo version put onto here. So I need to find out about that actually. I kind of forgot I actually have this one. So it's, again, nice to do these to remember what you've got. This is obviously sealed, so I don't know how much that's worth. It was like probably about a tenner at the time. This one is, well, it's actually, you can get this in PAL. I probably even got it actually, so I don't know why I've got this one. I think I got it. Was like the early days of collecting. I can't even open it, it's so hard. Let's open it up, because I want to kind of show inside the DS cases are a little bit different. They're a bit more sturdy than what we got, and everything a little bit like the American GameCube cases. So that's quite interesting if you've never seen that before. So yeah, this is a really good like sort of like platformer game. The original game was on the NES and the arcades, and yeah, this is cool ninja sort of game. Don't think I completed it either though. Another game I haven't completed, but I have tried to quite numerous times. Contra 4. Now this is really, really cool. Basically a true Contra sequel. So many crappy ones got released after the Super Nintendo one, and this one really just brought it around and just made it what it is. So I really recommend getting that game. So another game that I very much recommend getting, and it is Nights in the Nightmare, another Atlas game for the DS. This is such a hard one to kind of pinpoint what the gameplay is. It's sort of like, I don't know why I'm opening it. Why am I opening it? Sort of like, well, it is a turn-based strategy kind of game, but then it's kind of like you use the touchscreen to like sort of fire like projectiles, so it kind of turns a little bit bullet hellish-y with some of the attacks that you do. I mean, it's just visually stunning. It's like really dark but colourful at the same time, and I have actually completed this game. So yeah, this actually accompanied me on like some train journeys that I had, because I think my car broke for whatever reason, I don't know, and I had to get like 2-hour journeys to get to work. So yeah, this was great fun to be playing on that train. Next up, we've got the last few games. This isn't an exclusive. This you can actually get in the UK. I think again this is just something that I picked up early on, and I've just never replaced it, and I really need to. But yeah, this is a really good rhythm action game. If you like sort of things like Parappa the Rapper, like basically this is got like cover songs of like popular hits and stuff like that, all covered, all like really cheesily, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's quite good actually. Again, I need to go back and play that. Now this one, Radiant Historia, this is a great game. Again, one that I have played, and honestly I've not played this version of it. It was the 3DS version, which is a lot more improved. Now this was actually quite a rare game at one point, but then they reprinted it. I don't know if this is a reprint version or what. I can't really tell. But either way, it's nice to have in anyone's collection. Definitely recommend getting that one. So we've got Barnyard Blast, Swine of the Night. So that title might kind of give away what this game is. It's a parody of Castlevania, basically. So you're just a pig doing platforming. Very crappy really, but it is just like a good kind of game to play. Now this did come out in PAL territories, but it only came out in like Germany or something like that, so it's got German text writing and everything like that, which I have been tempted to get in the past, but that is the only UK, well, English one that you can get. And last up in the American ones, we've got Sands of Destruction by Sega. So this is a Sega RPG, and again, I've not got around to playing this one, which is a shame. And maybe I should do it sooner rather than later, because this one looks actually really good, and one that no one really, well, I don't think talks about too much, so it'll be interesting to see what that's like. Right, next up we have got the PAL UK games, so let's see what we've got, shall we? We have got, first up we've got Away Shuffle Dungeon. This is one of them horrible ones that's got like multiple regions on it. So you have got English on there and everything like that. Yeah, one that I wanted for a long time and I can't remember why. One that, you know, when you've been looking for it for so long and you just completely forget. But never mind. Again, another one that's kind of like multi-region. Atari Greatest Hits. So a load of Atari games. I actually forgot I had that one, so that's nice to have. Aliens Infestation. Wow, what a game. This is really good. It's sort of very... losing my voice now. Very much similar to the Super Nintendo Mega Drive one, except like turned up to 11. Sort of Metroidvania. It's hard. It's rubbish to say, but if you play, it's more like the original, where you've got to search around like the area they're in, and then you move on to the next level. So that kind of breaks the Metroidvania thing, because you actually have levels. Really good, and what makes it different is you've got multiple characters that you use as well, so really good. I missed out on getting this once on a 3 for 10 deal, and then the price really shot up, so just glad to have it in the collection. One that I kind of just got because it just sounded so weird that I needed to get it. Air Traffic Controller. Yeah, don't know much more about that. 2 games I've got. I think there's a third one in the series. I got these from a charity shop, and it was like £2 each. I thought I had 3 of them for some reason, but obviously not. Ace Attorney Investigates. Never played them. I hear a lot of good things, but I don't understand why they're good. Basically, you've got to object to everything. I don't know. People know about Ace Attorney, so it's not like people need any information from me. Right, next up, what have we got? Now this one's pretty good. We've got Bomberman Storage. Yes, I thought it was going to be a bit like a sort of RPG, but it's not really. It's sort of like, I suppose, a little bit Legend of Zelda-ish, but not quite. It's very, yeah, it's very average. It is good. If you like your Bomberman, you're going to like it, but don't expect anything like too spectacular. Now, Bomberman, God, I can't even speak tonight. Bomberman Land Touch is a really good game as well. This is sort of like a mini game thing where you're kind of going around the world and then you end up doing mini games. And I prefer this one a lot more than Bomberman Story. There is a sequel to this as well, so I need to get that sooner rather than later. One I actually haven't played, this is the only one I've not played yet, and it's Bomberman 2. And I can remember this getting quite tricky to find. Whether or not it stayed tricky to find, I don't know. I've not actually collected DS properly for quite some years, to be honest. In fact, this is probably the last decent game I got for the DS, and it's Boing Dokumaki DS. Now, this is sealed, so I've not actually played it yet, and it is actually it's the European version, so I think it will play in English, but yeah, it would be nice to get an English one and one that I can actually play. It looks really cool, a really like funky puzzle platformer kind of game. Now this one is really good. So this is Bangai-O Spirits, a sequel to the N64 and Dreamcast game. It's by Treasure, and oh, there's no screenshots on the back. It's sort of like it's people call it a shmup, but it's not really a shmup. It's like a shooter that is sort of like multi-directional. It's almost like a twin stick shooter, but it's not. There is a lot of stuff happening in this. So many, it's like really small sprites, and they're all like all over the place. Really cool. There is actually a UK only one, but that is actually quite rare. And bloody Dylan told me about it and snuck it for himself, the bugger. To be honest, I'd have done the same. So fair play to you, Dylan. Fair play. Next up, we've got Children of Mana. This is a really good game. This is a sequel to Legend of Mana on the Super Nintendo, and this one actually plays. Is this the one that plays like it? Yeah, this one actually plays like it. So it's just like a spiritual sequel to Legend of Mana. Not much more to say. It's not amazing. It is really good, and definitely recommend anyone getting that one. It is good, but it's just not quite the same level as the Super Nintendo. But how can you match that, eh? Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. Oh my goodness. I love these games. Really do. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. These are probably some of my favourite Castlevania games. It's sort of like Symphony of the Night, except ranked up. I don't know. Ramped up, that's the word. This one, I think, is the one that you have to like draw like little sigils on the screen, and that gives you like different spells and stuff. Like, really cool idea. Whereas this one, Dawn of Sorrow, pretty much think this is a bit more like Symphony of the Night, except you've got 2 characters to control, if I remember, and there is a third one which is getting stupid price. I can remember trying to get it for between 20 and 25 quid, and they were selling like that all day long, and I thought it was going to drop, and it just went the other way, unfortunately. So that is the biggest thing missing from my collection. One day I will get it, because I do need it. Bubble Bobble Double Shot. Not played this, but I mean, Bubble Bobble, man, it's flipping awesome, isn't it? Next up, Boulder Dash Rocks. Again, this is probably the last game that I actually put in the DS collection. Not an expensive one, not a hard one to find. Yeah, Boulder Dash. Might actually play that sooner rather than later. I might keep that one out, because I do like that. Next up, right, so we have got Crash Bandicoot on the old DS. Boom Bang. Now, I've heard a lot of people say this is terrible, so I think it's just like a collection of minigames, and Crash Bandicoot and minigames don't really mix, really. Next up, this is a really good game. I've still not completed it. I got quite far on it, and I think it got a bit hard, or at least frustrating for me, I don't know. Contact. So this basically, think Earthbound, cutesy graphics, nothing like Earthbound, but very similar kind of idea, visuals and concept. Really recommend getting this. Again, I don't think this is actually that expensive. Another recommendation, Chronos Twins. Really love this game. I got to the last stage, I couldn't beat it. Gotta say. This, you control 2 characters simultaneously, so each screen you're moving left and right, but obviously you've got different like obstacles in the way, so you kind of like got to figure out how to get past things together. Very much recommend that. And another big hitter, don't know how much this is anymore, but it wasn't cheap back in the day, but there's a reason, and that's because it's flipping awesome. This is the definitive way to play Chrono Trigger, I think. So all complete and everything. Hopefully it's got the cartridge in there. I completed it on this, and I've completed it on the PlayStation. So why this is the definitive version, it actually has the cutscenes from the PlayStation in it, and it's got the load times of a cartridge. So it's just the best of both worlds. So it plays very like speedy, like the SNES. No waiting around while you're doing your battles and stuff, which was, I suppose, would have been a little bit frustrating. I mean, I played this when I was 13, 14 the first time on a dodgy backup disc. I always thought it was for the PlayStation, up until I started collecting. Well, I say for the PlayStation over here, but it was only in America. I do have a disc for that, but I don't have the box, unfortunately. Next up, we've got a little present. This one is from Retro Red Steve, so really thank you very much for this. I need to play this. I've never played it properly. I played it a little bit, but didn't fully enjoy it. I feel like this is... Yes, it has got the cart. For some reason I thought I didn't have the cartridge, because I did have just a box only one, and I feel like I put that in something. Anyway, Dead and Furious. This basically is House of the Dead for the DS. So if you like your light gun games, if you like your horror games, you will like the cheesiness of this. It isn't amazing, but the fact that something like that is on there is great. Now this one, hidden gem in, I believe. This is Danny Phantom, Nickelodeon Urban Jungle. So why is this a hidden gem? Well, it's basically a horizontal shooter version of Ikaruga. So you've kind of got like the two lots of bullets that you can alternate between, and they do a stronger attack and a light attack, and you can absorb them and not absorb them. Very Ikaruga inspired, except very easy. You're not going to die at all on this. So if you want a good practice shooter, get this as well. I mean, when I got this, it was less than a £5 delivered from eBay. Whether or not that's gone up or not recently, I don't know. But if you like your shooters and you want something to practice on, if you're not very good at them, this is good. The only thing I will say about it is it's got cutscenes in between the levels, so it kind of takes the immersion away a little bit of a proper shooter, but definitely worth grabbing. Oh, let's get the next lot out. Oops, there goes my divider. We have got Flower, Sun and Rain, the Murder Mystery in Paradise, a nice rising star game. So this is also by Suda51. I don't know if it's Grasshopper Studios or not, but yeah, really cool. I say really cool, it's really hard. Well, not hard, just confusing as oh, and I couldn't get out of the car park. I think I've read this, basically you just got to walk around a lot in this, so it's a very monotonous game. But if you like weird games, you're going to like that game. So next up one I got recently, Flipper Critters. Again, really cheap, but this is a really cool hybrid pinball game. So if you like your pinball kind of things, and if you like weird games, definitely recommend getting that. So now we've got the cool game, the very cool games. Trying to put these in order. So I'm pretty certain this is a full set, but I can't remember. First up, we've got Dragon Quest, Chapters of the Chosen. I feel like I've got one missing. I don't know. Chapters of the Chosen. Yeah, Dragon Quest, flipping amazing. No, it's just that I've just put them all out of order, that's all it is. That's why I confused myself. Dragon Quest, Realms of the Reverie. I think this is the last one I got, or was it that one? I can't remember. Yeah, another just Dragon Quest classic. I've played all three of these ones, and well, and this one as well. This one, hands down, the best one. Really is. Hands of the Heavenly Bride. Now, someone alerted me to the price of these Dragon Quest games. These are ridiculous. This is sold for over 200 quid. Yeah, that is just madness. Very pleased to get that, and a UK copy of that. I've been close to not getting UK ones in the past. And then we've got Dragon Quest 9. I haven't played this one. I believe this one you can actually play with like your friends and stuff like that. You don't have to just play on your own, so that's quite cool. But I mean, who's going to play Dragon Quest with me for like 100 hours? It's not going to happen, is it? So next up we have got Heroes of Mana. So this game, yeah, this is part of the Mana series, the Legend of Mana, except this one, it was a massive disappointment. It's sort of like a, what's it called, tower defense game? And it was like enjoyable for a little bit, even though I kind of had to get used to what kind of game it was. But I had to stop it. It just wasn't my kind of game. Now this one is really good. And again, recommend anyone to get this. Henry Hatsworth in the Puzzling Adventure. So this is sort of like columns crossed with a platformer. What a weird concept. So on the top screen, you're like platforming away, doing like really cool stuff. Well, I say cool, it's a very basic platformer, but what makes it really cool is you're constantly, I think, dropping blocks, or you're finding blocks while you're puzzling to try and complete, while you're platforming to complete a puzzle. So yeah, very intriguing game, and nothing else has come out that's ever like this. And yeah, I would love to see more things. Like, it doesn't have to be a sequel to this, just like kind of concepts of that. I mean, you're not going to get away from the fact it is a carbon copy of it, but it is what it is. Next up, we've got Guilty Gear and the Dust Strikers. This is not a traditional Guilty Gear game. It's sort of like I think 3 or 4 different people. I suppose he was trying to take on the Buster. What's it called? I don't know. The Nintendo franchise that like you're all fighting with. Yeah, you kind of multi-levels. I didn't like it because it just was so awkward to turn around and stuff like that. It wasn't easy. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. A nice little Capcom game here. Now, this one, I'm actually pretty certain that this is a sort of like puzzle-based visual novel, but I've heard it's very good. I've not got around to playing it yet, but one day, I'm going to have time and I will do it all. Next up, we've got Geometry Wars Galaxies. Now, I love this series. It's one I came onto quite late. In fact, it was a PlayStation 4 that I first played Geometry Wars, and oh boy, was I flipping addicted to it. I was playing it on my Vita, I was playing it on my PlayStation 4. It was great. And then when I went back to this one, it's got all the good gameplay and everything like that. However, doesn't quite work without a twin stick. So it's good, just not as good as playing it on other systems. Next up, we've got Kirby. In fact, this is the only Kirby game I've got. There's quite a lot of Kirby games on the DS as well. Kirby Power Paintbrush. So, yeah, I believe this is a bit like Ivy the Kiwi. Yeah, that's about it. You kind of like, you draw like the directions and you follow. I don't know. Azuna, Legend of the Ninja. Another really cool game. Another one that's one of these multi-region ones. Not all games came just as a PAL UK one, unfortunately. 505 games as well. I've only just noticed that. Yeah, this is supposedly a very good RPG. There is a sequel, but that only came out in America. Another cool strategy game by Sega, Infinity Space. This was becoming quite rare at one point, and then I think this must have had a reprint. I think I paid about 15 quid for this, so whether or not it's still 15 quid now, I don't know. But yeah, really cool. Not played it. I really love the art style on it. Like, sort of like I say, sort of a space simulator strategy game. Actually picked this up recently. Car Booty Fine. Hotel Dusk. It's a visual novel. Oh yeah, I was wondering what was rattling. It's actually got a stylus in there. Right, so this one, Hoshigami. This is a remake, not remake. It's a PlayStation 1 game initially, and then it was put onto the DS. I think this is a strategy RPG, or is it just a straight up RPG? Can't remember, but pretty cool, and I would like to get around to playing that one day. Next up, a nice Konami, I think, sort of like a action RPG, Lunar Knights. I don't think it, well, obviously it's not part of the Lunar series, but yeah, descend into the gothic world of Lunar Knights. Play as 2 different heroes with unique powers and weapons. So yeah, I don't know why I got this, other than it probably just looked interesting, and probably back then it would have cost like a $5 or something. Looney Tunes Duck Amok. I think this was just a Car Booty game, but it just seemed cool to keep in the collection. Zelda Spirit Tracks. Oh man, I played it, but you gotta use your stylus, and it just was grating on me. I just realised how bad that game is. That is really bad. I think I might have a spare cover for that. So yeah, Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. Next up, the Korg DS10 Synthesizer. This is one of the first games I got as well. I had to get this in the collection as soon as I heard about it. I'm into my DJing and stuff like that. I used to have like some synths and Korg synths in particular, so I had to get it. It's cool but very clunky. It is actually a really good piece of kit if you got going, but like I say, it was too ahead of its time for this really. Yeah, there is one on the Switch that I wouldn't mind getting, actually. That would be quite interesting to get, because I think by the time the Switch has come out, I think it's, yeah, a lot better resolution, so you can get more things on screen at once. Mario versus Donkey Kong, Mini Land Mayhem. This one looks really cool. I think basically this is a sequel to Donkey Kong 91, is it? The one on the Game Boy where it starts off like Donkey Kong and then it turns into something else. Looks really cool. I've not really played it. Mario Party DS, really interesting game in the fact that it's like a DS multiplayer party game. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of putting a party game onto a DS, but you know, it is what it is. Mario Kart DS. Now, this was the first game I actually ever had on the DS. This was pretty, I think, why I got the DSi. So yeah, this was really good fun. One of the better Mario Karts, I think, as well. I think it introduced the sort of like the older, what's it called? Playing on the older stages, but like more updated. So that's quite cool. Now, this one, I love Pang. I love it, but I just don't like the reskin of this. So you can use different characters, and it is Pang at the end of the day. It's not amazing. I mean, well, it is, but it just doesn't feel like traditional Pang. That's all. Just because of the characters, and that's what done it for me. But again, really good to get. And I just realised that's another Rising Star game. Now, this one, I think this is quite a rare game. However, when I say rare game, it's not actually expensive. Last time I looked, there was only like one on eBay. When I got this, it was from the car boot, and the guy had probably about 10 to 15 of these all sealed. And I was like, let's grab one. It was £1 or something. So I thought I'd get one, and then I looked, and yeah, they were selling for about £5 then. But again, there was just none on for sale. Next up, we've got Mega Man ZX. Oh boy, these games are flipping amazing. Basically, oh, I'm going to say it again, I hate saying it. It is a Metroidvania, but in a Mega Man skin. So really cool, really good game. One that I've not got around to playing, and that is Mega Man ZX Advent. Oh my goodness, I waited for so long to get a power version of this. Again, waited too long, and now it's quite expensive. And I got this for like pennies, so I had to get it. I mean, the thing is with the DS, it is multi-region, so all of these will work. This was a cool little charity shop find, Mechanic Master. When I say cool for me, this is a really cool game. If anyone remembers the Incredible Machine on the PC, or Bill's Tomato game on the Amiga, very much like that. You put like sort of like little mechanics, machinery, and to guide your character to the end of the level. Really cool, really fun puzzle game. Not got through them all, but it is what it is. This is part of a pack-in. Metroid Prime Hunters, the first hunt. This is a demo, I think. So you just basically have the first hunt of that. I mean, I thought it was quite cool. It was just, I think it was just part of a bundle. Might of Magic, Clash of Heroes. I was just going for all the strategy games. This, I've heard, is actually really good. It's almost a strategy puzzle game, where you got like kind of match up the oncoming characters with your attacks or something. A little bit like a sort of gem game. Yeah, very interesting. I didn't actually play much of it, but I played enough to know that I liked it. Oh, we've got some tat here, but I do like Cesar Milan. He was a really good dog coach. I really enjoyed watching him and learning about training my dog. So when I saw this, I had to pick it. Yeah, and again, dogs, my best friends, cats and dogs. It's a true story. I can't get rid of it. Now, this one, absolutely love this game. Mr. Driller, Drill Spirits. I don't know if it's a sequel or what. I mean, there's not much extra difference to the normal Mr. Driller game. Yeah, you could just got to try and get down as low as possible without running out of air or something falling on top of you. Sort of like a reverse columns. Really good. Next up, we've got Metal Slug 7. Fantastic game. Really good. Although I've not actually got far on this one. I've actually not played this one that much. I should really sort that out, really. I played Contra a lot more. So this actually got re-released, I think, on the PSP as Metal Slug XX, which has recently had a limited run release of it, which is just, I think it's just the PSP version put onto PlayStation. So it's not like it's a super fancy remake or anything. Next up, you've got Nano Stray 2, a shmup on the actual DS. You don't get these that much, and this is really, I don't know, it's like hard but not hard. It's very strange. And then I actually got more addicted to one of the game modes. Going through and trying to get through all the game modes was actually more fun than the actual levels. I was quite disappointed of how I was expecting a bit more, but never mind. One of the first Mystery Dungeon games, Shiren the Wanderer. So Mystery Dungeon actually came along, and it's sort of like the what's it called? The game, I don't know. It takes on a lot of franchises. So you got the Pokemon ones, and it just uses its gameplay with another reskin. However, I think this is the original one, Mystery Dungeon Shiren the Wanderer. This has been remade loads of times, so I don't know. Got to have My Horse and Me Too. I did go for the My Horse and Me Too full set at one point, and well, I did get it. So what more can I say? Next up, we have got Ninja Town. So I think, if I remember correctly, this, I can't remember. I think I played it. I thought it was a bit like a tower defense game, but looking at it, it's not. Next up, we've got New Zealand Story Revolution. The revolution on it, I can't remember what it is, but basically it is New Zealand Story, and it is as hard as you remember. Flipping rock solid. New Super Mario Brothers. I mean, it's Mario Brothers, except you can go massive. International Track and Field. I mean, it's track and field, except you're massive. Talking about Mystery Dungeon, we've got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a really big Pokemon fan. I used to like it when I was a kid, but yeah, I mean, again, I will probably enjoy this a bit more because it is a Mystery Dungeon game, so I do like my dungeon crawlers. Orcs and Elves. Yeah, this is, I think, I don't know. It's by the creators of Doom RPG, so basically, I guess it is on the Doom RPG sort of like engine. So Doom RPG is a bit like a dungeon crawler, first person dungeon crawler, so that's quite cool. I didn't actually know I had these in my collection. I thought I'd have traded them in, but obviously I've kept them. Nintendogs, I usually trade them in because I prefer the games that I get from my trade credit than the actual games. Well, I'll leave these there. So we've got a pinball game, Power Shot Pinball Constructor. I don't think this is the easiest game to come by, or is it another pinball game I'm looking for? I can't remember. But pinball, Pokemon Pearl, it is Pokemon. What can I say? Shit. These games, we've got Professor Layton, Curious Village, Professor Layton, and Pandora's Box. I just realised I got two of them. I've got two games, two of the same games, so one will be nice. I mean, this is what's good about doing these. You can figure out what you need to trade in. And then we've got Spectre's Call. The only thing that's annoying me is I know there's 4 Professor Laytons, and I always thought I had them all. So, yeah, I need to sort something out about that. Need to sort it out. Next up, we have got Scribble Notes, Write Anything, Solve Anything. I've loved the idea of the concept of it. You draw something and a character comes out of it. Next up, we've got Rhapsody, a musical adventure. Again, I think this is a PlayStation 1 game put onto DS, so really cool to get. It's an RPG I've not played. Now, this one's a really good one. Resident Evil. I've just realised I've got a game missing. That is annoying me because it's quite an expensive one. Resident Evil Deadly Silence. Yeah, it is Resident Evil on a DS. It's incredible, really. I played it just to see what it's like, and I was impressed, but I'd never completed it, to be honest. Rainbow Islands Revolution. It's Rainbow Islands, except you've got to draw the rainbows with the stylus, and it's a bit shit because of it. I'm sorry, guys. I've kind of got a game stuck in my head that is missing from my collection because I know I had it. That's annoying me. Sonic Colors, not as good as the Wii version, but I mean, it's still Sonic. I feel like these games are just a bit too fast for the DS. Now this Sonic game is really perfect for the DS. This is really good. So this is a sort of RPG, very basic RPG, almost a bit like Paper Mario style, except it's by BioWare, which is the guys that do Mass Effect. So a very unusual pairing, but oh, definitely worth it. If you enjoy your RPGs, this is good. If you like your Sonic, it is good. Next up, we've got Snood on Vacation. Sort of, yeah, it's a PC game that's being put onto, like a PC shareware game put onto DS. Kind of cool. Part of like the guy that had like loads of sealed games. We've got Secret Saturdays. What's it called? The Beast on the Fifth Sun. I don't actually know what it is. But when I looked in the back, it looked interesting. So that's all it is. Scourge Hive. This is a definite 100% recommendation from me on this one. Sort of a isometric adventure game. It's just really good. Originally it was on a Game Boy Advance, but I believe the Game Boy Advance one is actually a little bit better than this one, except this has a map feature on the bottom, so they're better for different reasons. I would always prefer the DS one. I've not actually played the Game Boy Advance one, but I'm assuming it's, I don't know. Another, what people say, people keep going up, lauding this as a hidden gem for Gods of Thunder. This is, I think, basically because it's by Way Forward Games, so a lot of people like it, and the fact it's a sort of like a 2D side-scrolling brawler, almost brawler platformer. It is good, but I don't know, there's something about it that wasn't great. Not as good as what people say anyway. But it's cheap, or at least it was, so it's worth it. Tamagotchi Corner Shop. Don't know why this is in my collection, but hey, here it is. Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll. Not played it actually, but I really like my Super Monkey Ball. Sonic Rush, 92%. The best Sonic game ever. I don't know. It was good. Again, I just feel like Sonic games are just a bit too fast to be playing on the DS, because they do it at full speed. Unlike the GBA, where it's a little bit slowed down and everything like that. When it comes on DS, it's really fast, and I just can't keep up with it. Maybe that's just because I'm getting too old. Next up, The World Ends With You. Now this one, I'm really disappointed with myself, because I know a lot of people highly regard this, but I just couldn't get on with it. And that was basic. So this is sort of like an RPG, an action RPG, but a little bit, it's not like in a Zelda style. You got like story in between and everything like that, but then your battles are basically sort of like a brawler style, except you got to use your DS stylus to actually control it, and it was really frustrating me. So whether or not I'm missing something here, and you can actually take off the touch controls, that really took it out for me, and I had to stop playing it. Beautiful Joe Double Trouble. It is a fighting game as Beautiful Joe, I believe. Transformers Prime, the game. I like Transformers. It was a Kabuki find. Yeah. I didn't realise this was sealed. That's annoying me now. Tofu Collection. This looks like a really cool platformer. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Oh, I'm very disappointed about this game. I'm going to have to go on eBay now. Valkyrie Profile. A big series on PlayStation, finally on Nintendo. Cool RPG, really good to have. And then another cool sort of like a, what's it called, Geometry Wars style game. Again, great, however, you need twin sticks. If it had twin stick, it would be great. So that is all of my DS games, unless I find that other game, which is frustrating me. I don't know how many games are here, but there's quite a lot. So next up, I'm probably going to do my 3DS, and then yeah, that'll be my lot for a little bit, and then there'll be another Nintendo console. So yeah, like I say, I went through my PlayStation first, and then I'm going through my Nintendo next, and then it'll be something Sega, I'd imagine. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.